Hello YouTube, Arrow Assassin here today, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be doing a video on my thoughts on BFA so far. We're on the max level realm, so I wanted to share my thoughts on BFA so far. Let's go over gear first. So, if you haven't heard, templates are no longer a thing. Gear is going to be basically mattering again, and you're going to be using traits and stuff throughout the expansion pack. So I'm going to explain my thoughts on the whole gearing thing. I'm glad gearing is going to be a thing again. There's going to be so many mixed opinions on it, and feel free to say whatever you want in the comments section, but for me, I think gear coming back is really nice again. I kind of wish it was Warlord / Mr. Pandaria version, where Prideful gear, for example, back then, I think it was Prideful. I don't remember. It's hard to keep track of stuff, but I think it was Prideful back in Mr. Pandaria, for example, and it scaled all the way up to Mythic Raiders. Sorry, Mythic Raiders gear, and I think that was one of the better systems. That way, you didn't have Mythic Raiders going around stomping everybody, and PvPers could be happy and stuff. So I wish it went back to that system. Unfortunately, it's not. So PvP gear isn't probably necessarily as going to be great. It is. I don't know how it's going to necessarily work with PvP gear yet. We could see, for example, right here, this would be the stats on the Dread Gladiators gear. I'm not sure what item level it's going to be at. It's like certain item levels for certain rating, which unfortunately, since I'm not the best, or I mean, well, not the best, but like I'm obviously not an arena person. I don't really care for arenas. I know I'm obviously not the best player, but I just like to play this game for fun. And unfortunately, since I'm not an arena person, I may have to go resort to the PvE department. Who knows? I've also gotten some gear. I've done Battlegrounds on the beta, and you can see like this is one of the gear I've gotten. Let's see if I can, right here. Hopefully it's in the, you could see it, but it says Dread. I'm having, my voice is a little bit bad today. Dread Esperance Medallion. It's Titan Forge 350. So we'll see. We'll see what they do with the whole gear situation. You get still Marks of Honor, and you get mats and stuff. Had a Titan Forge 335 belt. So overall, I feel like the whole gear thing may not be too bad. I mean, it's not really a huge thing like it is in Legion. They've mellowed it down item level wise, but it's still gonna obviously help out a little bit. So that's my whole stance on the whole gear thing. If that was a little bit too long of a rant, I apologize. I'm just trying to get my whole thoughts out there for you guys. Like I said, my thoughts are, it's really nice that the gear thing came back, because this is, after all, MMO, and you have to get gear to get stronger, so I feel like that should be a thing. On the other hand, having templates and you could get right into the game was okay, but templates sucked. I hated templates. It's just, overall, gear having gear matter again is really nice. Alright, guys, the final thing I want to go over is the traits. So this is what's going to be happening for BFA. The traits is going to be where most of the stuff is happening. Traits do stack, which is why you see me having Moonfire damage. For example, let's look at Moonfire right now. This is just an example. Where is it? Moonfire's got to be somewhere, because oh, there it is. Alright, so it says 5.5, almost 6k Moonfire. So I take off my helmet. Actually, I probably shouldn't take off my helmet. I'll wear a different Azurite piece. We'll put on this Azurite gear piece. It doesn't have any Moonfire increased abilities on it. So you can see it's at 6k right now. I put on a different helmet. It goes down to 4,430. Let's take off a different Moonfire trait, and it goes down to 2,900. So you can see it does stack. I put on both of these back on, and it goes back to 6k. So it looks like the traits do stack. There's, of course, a bunch of different traits you could go with. For example, I'm wearing the PvP. The Dread Gladiators is the PvP version of the Azurite gear. There's obviously a bunch of different ones you could go with. I'll just buy this random one. For example, it's a PvE version. Um, for the PvP version, actually, I should probably buy a different. Let's buy another PvP version so we can compare the traits for you guys. All right, for the PvE version, you will see the bunch of traits come over here. For the PvP ones, there will obviously be different traits for PvP specifically only. Obviously, with traits on the right where they go after specific spells. For example, this one is the Solar Wrath for Boomkin, and on the left, is just a passive that increases split damage among enemies. Which apparently for this one, I don't know, it's very weird. We'll buy a different one real quick. Some of them are very, very weird. All right, all right. This isn't a very necessarily the best ones to. I'm a complete mess. I apologize about this, guys. So I bought a different helmet. We'll look at the PvE one first. So yeah, this is PvE ones. What I like to do is, because I play so many different specs for you guys in PvP, is that I pick PvP specific traits that affect everything. Like for example, in this one, I have increased mastery and absorb damage, which mastery for the most part is good for Balanced Druid, it's good for Guardian, it's good for Feral, kind of. Not really, but it's kind of. I take what best I can do. Obviously, it's not the best stat for every spec, but like I said, I play so many different specs and classes. It's a little bit difficult for me to play, to have traits for different classes that are. You guys kind of get what I mean. So I'm a little bit ranting on. So continuing back, for example, for the PvE one, we're gonna pick this, and then the next traits we'll pick between intellect, which stack and then diminish over time. Your healing spells, which I'm obviously not really much of a healer person. Shielding, when falling below, you have increased armor. So, considering the fact that I have an Azurite trait, which increases the intellect, I'll just pick this, which will help for Restro and Boomkin. Unfortunately, it won't really help much for Feral and Guardian. Not obviously every gear piece is like that. We got Bark Skin, for example, or we got Survival Instinct, so that helps for all specs, so I would pick that. And then the final one is just an item level increase. So you guys kind of get the picture of basically how this is generally going to work. We'll look at the PvP version. This is what I was talking about before on what I have right now. It gives you a mastery increase and absorb. Or the other one increases your Moonfire Moonfire damage, sorry. And that's how I've been stacking it and getting so much Moonfire damage. So, while you guys were a little bit mad about me doing a Moonfire build, add all that up with the talents with Twin Moons and Crescent Burn for PvP talent, add that with 3 traits of Moonfire, it hits pretty dang hard. So, like I said, it is stackable, it's really good. And if you want to, if you're like me who plays different specs, for example, just try to pick as many traits as you can, and that work for mostly all specs. There is a trainer that you can respec Azurite traits for. Unfortunately, I'm on the max level realm and nothing pops. There's no mobs. You can't leave this zone, so I can't show you guys, unfortunately. But there is a way you can respec it. So anyways, guys, I think that pretty much covers it quite well of my thoughts on BFA. I feel like it's going to be a lot better than Legion. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions, and my stomach is growling, I apologize. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you guys can let me know. I feel like that does cover up everything I wanted to say about BFA. And let me know what your guys' thoughts are and everything. See you guys for the next one.